Welcome back to Stir the Pot. Tonight we're going to be making some sourdough dinner rolls. We'll be using my friend Izzy. She's been around with me for about a year. Please give us a thumbs up. Hit the notifications. Izzy is our sourdough and our sourdough starter mix. And she has been around with us a little bit over a year, and I have been dying to share these sourdough recipes with you guys, as well as how to start your own sourdough for you and your family. So let's stir the pot. We are going to start off with 3/4 cups of warm water. Now, the warm water will need to be between 95 to 98. You don't want it too hot, don't want it too cold. Just pour it in your mixer, your stand mixer, with a dough hook. We'll be using 3/4 cup of my sourdough starter. Now, Izzy, whenever we started Izzy and how she got her name, was we started the sourdough and we didn't know if it was going to work or not. So I was trying to think of a name. So Izzy seemed appropriate because is she going to work or is she not? Izzy worked. You'll see all of the bubbles in here. I fed her this morning and the bubbles tell me that she is ready to cook. So I'll also add a half a cup of my starter mix. Look how thick. She's coming. She's coming slow. She don't want to leave her home. And we will feed her again after I cook tonight and start all over. Sourdough is a living organism. It is pretty much natural yeast, so it takes the place of your dried yeast. A lot of people that are can only eat gluten-free breads find that they can tolerate sourdough better because of the good bacteria in the sourdough. So we're going to add this to the water. And then what I'm going to do is stir it a little to break up the sourdough in the water. Making sourdough bread, whether you're making rolls or you're making loaf bread, is very easy but time consuming because of the amount of time that it takes for your bread to rise. So you can see here that it's all dissolving in the water. So to this, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of white sugar. This also, I mean, the French bread that we make with it is delicious. And I've even made the French bread before and decided not to put the bread together and ended up making breadstick with it. Or we've even made pizza crust with it, pizza dough. And it is everything that we have made with it has just been delicious. So now we're going to add a 1/4 cup of melted butter. This butter, I melted it in the microwave, but then I cooled it down. I don't want to put warm butter into my dough mixture. And then we have a half a teaspoon of sea salt. I have so much information on sourdough that I want to share with you guys. So be sure to hit those notifications so that you get all of our videos. And hopefully, or my desire is to do a whole series just on sourdough, probably be after the first of the year with all the baking that we have going on around Christmas, other than breads. Okay, so now we're going to add our flour. I have right here 2.5 cups of all purpose unbleached flour. And I'm going to start off by adding 2 cups to it. Oops. And I'm going to see how the dough reacts and see if I need the other half cup. Woo! And what I'm going to do is just stir this in a little, and then I'm going to cut my mixer on. You'll put your mixer on medium, and this is going to need for um, probably 10 to 15 minutes. The dough is coming together. It's a little wet. I'm going to add a little bit more flour. I just turned that down while I added the flour so that it doesn't throw my flour all over the kitchen. And then back up she goes. This is doing a really good job. I've added almost all of our flour, but bring it in here. Whenever your dough starts pulling together and away from the sides, you know that you have the right mixture of water and flour. So we're going to let this go a little bit longer, and then we're going to pull it. Okay, so this has beat, and the way I know it's done, look, it's stuck. So we're going to take that off. We're going to get a bowl. We're going to put some olive oil in the bottom of this, and we will move our dough over to this bowl. Don't need a whole lot, just put a little. When we put our dough in here, we're going to roll it around, and I ain't got no place to work. What I was going to say is we're going to roll our dough around in that olive oil so that it's coated on all sides. Come over here and look at this dough. See how it all pulled together? And all I did really, guys, is just take it off of my hook. And the dough feels wonderful. You guys who mess around with dough, you know how dough feels. So this, I'm not going to do any kneading on it for right now. I'm just folding it under. I'm going to place it in this old bowl. I will leave it in here overnight, and then we'll check it tomorrow morning, and we will cook some rolls tomorrow afternoon. So see you tomorrow. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notifications. See you tomorrow. Good morning, guys. It's kind of early here, early 30. This has set overnight, and I just covered it with saran. You can cover it with a cloth if you would like. If you do cover it with a towel, don't use one of your terry towels, because if this rises up, it will stick in that towel. It will be a mess for you. So we're going to take this and we're going to turn it out, and we're going to cut it into 8 balls. We'll put it over in this, I think it's a 9 by 13 pan I have here, or you can use an 8 by 8 pan. We will grease this before we put it in there. So let's play with our dough. And this is satisfied. I'm putting a little bit of flour here just in case I need it. I don't know that I will this time, but and as you can tell from where we went and where we are now, this is very easy. And the only thing is patience, as far as um, how long it takes to make these. So I'll just cut it in half. And then I'll take the half and cut it in half. And you want them to be as close as possible. I'm not going to be weighing these. I'm not going to be 100% precise with my measurements here. But you can if you would like. So I divided it in half, and my halves in half. So now I'm going to take my quarters and cut them in half. Okay, so now we're just going to take each one of our pieces of dough, and we're going to roll it to make it round. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just rolling it around and turning the ends under. And I'm going to pinch the bottom, um, seal your dough, and then I'm just going to roll it here to give me a good seal on the bottom. Is she beautiful? You'll find that you love working with dough. I'm going to oil my pan. Now, these rolls will sit in this pan for 1 to 2 hours. You want it to double in size. So we'll put this over here and we'll work on the next one. Again, you just take it, just with your fingers, just roll it under. Okay, we're just about through. I just wanted to show you guys another technique. If you wanted to roll your balls like this, you can do this as well. And then just use the pull method. And when you pull it, you'll feel it like kind of hanging on your board. And just turn it over. Make sure that you get that bottom sealed. And then you can roll it again on your board. That will seal up that dough on the bottom. Pretty. Okay. So we have our 8 rolls over in our baking dish. We're going to brush this with an egg wash. This will give us that really shiny top on this whenever we cook them. So we'll just brush these with our egg wash. We'll let these sit for an hour to 2 hours, depending on how long it's going to take them to double in size. And then we'll be back and bake them. These will sit uncovered, by the way. Just sit them in a warm spot in your kitchen, away from draft. There you have it. How simple is that? We'll set this over and let it double. We'll come back and see how they rise, and we'll bake them up. Okay, our rolls have risen, and we're going to place these in a preheated oven at 375. I have my baking stone in there. It just helps for me to have a more even bake. We'll bake these at 375 on that middle rack for 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, guys, we got our rolls out. It took us right at 26 minutes for them to get this color, this brown that we were looking for. We're going to top them with a little bit of butter. You can see how beautiful the egg wash made them for the cook. So I'm not sure if they are cool enough that I can touch them, but I'm going to lay this one over here. Now let's break this open and see what it looks like. Oh my. Look at that bread. They're light, fluffy. They are done through and through, so that's always great when you're working with homemade dough. Mm, they're delicious. I love the flavor of sourdough. These are very, very good. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe. The recipe for this will be down in the description, and hit notifications so that you'll get all of our videos as they post. I will also be putting soon from start to finish on how to make your own sourdough as well as other sourdough recipes. So until next time, stir the pot.